Coming up on Mountain News this morning, one county dealt with its first big fire of the season as officials urge others to beware the danger of an unattended flame. And new federal funding brings a wide array of national businesses to the Commonwealth.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News this morning.
Good morning, I'm Madison Carmouche. We are at that 5:30 mark this Friday morning, and today is, believe it or not, November 1st. Let's check in with meteorologist Drake Foley for a look at your forecast. Drake, maybe November will feel like November, question mark?
Well, maybe a little bit towards the end, but we're going to start off still warmer than we should be, and that's just because we have a lot of high pressure sitting in the area over the next couple of days. Right now, that low pressure sitting over us. We actually have some rain here. Let's pinpoint a couple locations where it's raining. Basically everywhere south of the Howell Rogers Parkway, you're going to see some rain, at least over the next couple hours. It's all the way from Pikeville to Hazard to parts of Barberville, Middlesboro, Harlan. So a lot of people will see some rain during their morning commute this morning. All right, let's take another look at that out the door forecast. And we have temperatures just sitting in those mid to high 60s today. Overall, a pretty nice day. Is actually around 10 a.m. We're going to be a little bit cooler than we are right now, sitting at 59, but it's going to warm up a little bit once those showers do move out. Let's take a look at your hour by hour for those rain chances. By 4 p.m., we're looking at 20%. Overall, not too bad. Once that rain moves out, it should lead to a pretty clear night for Friday Night Lights. Madison?
All right, Drake, thank you. State police are investigating after a woman's body was found in Harlan County. It happened on US 421 and 72 next to Catrins Creek. The identity of the woman has not been released and the cause of death is not known at this time. The body was sent to Frankfort for an autopsy. The Kentucky Solicitor General is fighting to uphold the death sentence in a nearly 40-year-old Letcher County murder case. Benny Lee Hodge was convicted of killing 23-year-old Tammy Acker and attacking her father in 1985. 18 judges of the U.S. Court of Appeals for the Sixth Circuit met Wednesday to hear arguments on Hodge's latest attempt to overturn his conviction. Attorney General Russell Coleman says it is critical the jury's verdict be upheld. One person is dead after a crash in Rockcastle County. That crash happened Wednesday on Interstate 75. Police say they were called out near the 71-mile marker in the northbound lanes. Police say 77-year-old Sally Brosell of Madison County was heading north when she lost control and hit a semi-truck. Brosell died from injuries sustained in the crash. The driver of the semi was not hurt. Two people are facing charges after police in Laurel County found a large quantity of fentanyl during a raid. London PD's Special Investigation Unit seized the fentanyl as well as other contraband after they served a search warrant at a home. Brian and Jonathan Hubbard, both of London, were arrested. They were taken to the Laurel County Correctional Center. More than 1 year ago, we began to cover a deadly building collapse in Martin County. Two men, both from Pike County, were killed. Billy Ray Bo Daniels and Alvin Neese were doing contract work preparing for a demolition project at an idle coal processing plant. When the 11-story building collapsed, it would be days before both bodies could be removed from the rubble. Two students are now facing charges after a fire at Lincoln County Middle School. The fire broke out late Tuesday afternoon after school, but some activities were still taking place. Those people were evacuated and ServPro arrived to start mitigating the damage. Police were called in to investigate and two students were charged with criminal mischief and arson.
Students have to realize there's consequences for bad behavior or even in this case illegal behavior, and we always need to be cognizant of that, and we need to be teaching our students to do better.
The two students were taken to a juvenile detention facility. No one was hurt in the fire. Rangers with the Kentucky Department of Forestry put out the first big forest fire of the season in Harlan County in the Brookside community. Crews started working the fire Wednesday and Thursday. They extinguished what was left of it. WYMT's Austin Hicks reports on the cause of the fire and what you can do to keep yourself and your property safe during fire season.
Fire season began on October 1st and will end on December 15th, which means the highest chance for a forest fire will be during that time period. And on Wednesday, Harlan County saw its first major fire of the season, as the Brookside community in Harlan County saw a forest fire that at its peak covered 10 acres. With fall in full swing, the risk of a fire increases, and as firefighter for the West Clover Fork Fire Department, Bradley Guthrie said we could be seeing more in the future.
It's actually starting the season of it, where fall's hitting, all the leaves are falling. People's getting a little bit more careless with burning things around their house and stuff like that, and the embers fly off and it starts fires.
While many fires start because of falling leaves and a lack of rain, officials said there was evidence of the fire in Brookside being started intentionally. William Duncan, who is a ranger for the Kentucky Department of Forestry, said this occurrence is not uncommon.
Some instances we're able to utilize local knowledge and sometimes piece together who started a fire like this, but arson, it's about 50-50. You've got arson, debris burning, lightning strikes down electrical poles. There are a lot of causes for forest fires.
Duncan said in order to keep yourself, your family, and property safe during fire season, it is important for folks to follow the rules for fire season.
Ends October 1st, ends December 15th. If everyone will just remember that there is no burning between the hours of 6 a.m. and 6 p.m. You cannot be within 150 feet of the wood line or a structure unless there's snow on the ground. But just general things, keeping the leaf litter up out of their yard, anything that connects, that bridges that gap between the home and the wood line.
Duncan said folks can also make a gap between the wood line and their home so that if a fire does get near the house, there will be no fuel for it to continue to burn. In Harlan County, Austin Hicks, WYMT Mountain News.
Officials with the Kentucky Department of Forestry say if anyone has any information regarding the fire or anyone involved with starting it, they should call them. Officials with the Transportation Cabinet have announced one portion of Interstate 75 will be closed next week. The right lane will be closed at milepoint 14.0 in Whitley County on Wednesday, November 6th. The part of the interstate will be closed from 9 in the morning until 4 in the evening during bridge deck repair operations. Drivers need to be aware of signage and road crews at work. With the growing number of national brands making their new home in Kentucky, we are learning more about a $1 billion federal grant that's going to help meet some of those companies' demands. During yesterday's Team Kentucky update, Governor Andy Beshear talked about the $1.4 billion in federal funding for Eastern Kentucky Power. Beshear says the grant will help increase the amount of electricity and renewable energy produced. October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, but now it's also Cancer Education and Prevention Month in Kentucky. At UK Hospital, Lieutenant Governor Jacqueline Coleman recognized Markey's current efforts to train the next generation of cancer physicians and researchers, a goal the Action Research Program is fully focused on. Students impacted sat in the front row during the proclamation, receiving thanks from the Lieutenant Governor for choosing this career path. Services begin this afternoon for State Senator Johnny Turner. Turner died last week at the age of 76. The visitation is from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. today at the Harlan County High School auditorium. A funeral mass is set for Saturday at 11 a.m. at the Holy Trinity Catholic Church in Harlan. His burial will follow at Rest Haven Cemetery in the Keith community.